And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Well, we're on to Cincinnati.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Hello? You play to win the game.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
And on the way up, we're going to buy the kneecap off.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
How can you not be romantic about football, man?
Let's go, baby! Welcome to the Benched Bonnetta podcast. There you are. Guys, we're back in studio and I don't have COVID anymore! Woo, 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 woo! Bye, COVID, bye, COVID! I talked too much trash about COVID and it found my ass. Whoopsies! Guys, I'm so excited to be here at NFL Network for the first time in what feels like a million years. I don't think we've been in studio, Graver, since I left for this road trip. Is that true or is that false?
I believe that's true. I think our last taping was in studio was like June 2nd.
Yuck! That's disgusting. I was so excited to get here and see little Justin Graver and see my little Mohan. Something's missing. Not the shot of the empty studio. Mohan went to go hang out with his parents this week. Is that true? He's with his parents? I can't remember what he told us.
He said something about his parents.
It's fine. It's the summer. Okay, go enjoy. But what I love about Mohan, and I love Mohan dearly, is that his idea of a summer vacation is, I'm going to go hang out with my parents for the week.
It's cute.
He's just a lover. He's a family guy. Mohan, we miss you. And we cannot wait to all be back in studio next week, actually, together. But am I going to be having to be wheeled in a wheelchair next week because I am playing in a celebrity flag football game with the frickin' Los Angeles Rams? I don't know whose team I'm on yet. It's either Aaron Donald or Jalen Ramsey.
Wow.
I am intimidated as hell. Do you guys think I'm going to hurt myself?
No. You just have to not get crushed. But it's flag football, so you should be fine.
I know, but I'm such a competitive person. I'm going to pull a hammy trying to run faster than Jalen Ramsey or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be a disaster. I cannot wait. I'm honored that they even asked me. Apparently I got some swag too. Which
When
I'm
is
really
that?
excited about. August 5th.
Right.
I don't know if people can come. I would imagine so.
I think there's a way to go if you're in Los Angeles.
Huh. Why don't y'all just Google that?
Yeah.
I should probably know.
Second annual Rams celebrity flag football game.
Yahoo! I'm so excited. I've always wanted to be involved in something like this. I really want to play. This is so dumb. Also, I shouldn't be playing in these games, but I really want to play in the MLB All-Star game. Just a random, no one would know who I am, but I could just be a ringer and I could come in and play decently well. I think that would be so fun. So I'm so excited to do this / nervous that I'm going to embarrass myself in front of a bunch of professional athletes. So yeah, check that out and come watch, I guess. I wonder if they broadcast it too. I kind of hope not.
Yeah. I hope they do.
Okay, guys, training camp has started. It's real. It's happening. I'm going into my second season with NFL Network. I haven't even been here a year. Isn't that so weird?
Yeah.
I haven't even had my 1-year anniversary. By the way, we should blow that up.
Oh, yeah.
1-year anniversary on the pod. Let's do it right. Mohan will bring the fireball. I will tell him, please put it away. He won't. It'll be a great day.
Can we get a cake?
We could totally get a cake.
Can we get champagne?
We can get some champagne. I think we get a cake and a side of Spam because I still want you to try that.
Yes.
Before the summer is through. But training camps have commenced. I unfortunately don't get to go to any yet, but we are going to go to are we allowed to say this?
Yes.
We're going to go to the Rams training camp.
On Monday next week.
We're going to interview some players. We're going to play some games. It's going to be very fun. And we get to go to the Chargers training camp as well. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So let us know who we should talk to, who you want to get to know a little bit better. That'll be so fun. I'm so excited to be taking this show on the road. So I'm excited because it feels real. I feel like we get Hard Knocks somewhat soon. That's going to start up shortly. And then it's pedal to the metal, baby. Are you ready for this season, Graver?
I'm so ready.
I am so freaking ready. I am ready for this to start tomorrow. I want to be in Sunday morning, frickin' 5 a.m. Irv, Mooch, Kurt Warner, Rich Eisen, Cynthia Freeland. Yahoo! I cannot wait to be absolutely exhausted. I'm so excited. But I'm also really excited that training camp started because we get to see these guys start to roll in now. One is coming to mind. I'm sure you guys have seen this photo of Aaron Rodgers rolling into training camp looking like, I don't like the look. Ugh. I don't like the look. The hair is too stringy and like greasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks unwashed.
It looks unkempt, guys. It's not a cute look. Add a little wave in there. Put your hair in braids before you go to sleep. But he dressed as Nick Cage in Con Air, I guess. Why is he doing this? Do you know? Is he just being fun?
I think he's just trying to like live a free long hair lifestyle.
You know what? I do love that for him. Have you ever grown your hair out before?
I have.
How long?
About shoulder length. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
You didn't like it?
It was cool. It was a lot to take care of, and I mean, I liked having long hair, but as soon as I cut it, I was like, oh
I'm
yeah,
free.
this is way better.
It's so crazy because I feel like Aaron Rodgers started growing his hair out like last year for Halloween, and everyone was kind of like trying to guess what his costume was. Ended up being John Wick. He looked great, whatever, and now it's still going. Anyway, so he dressed up as Nick Cage from Con Air, and it made me realize that I've never seen Con Air. And then that reminded me of earlier this week, somebody that I know told me that he had never seen the movie Titanic.
Wow.
How you must go out of your way in life to have not seen the masterpiece, the 3 hours and 14-minute masterpiece that is frickin' Titanic. I feel like every single person in their lives had the double VHS.
Yeah.
Right? Remember it came in like a package deal because it was so long.
My cousins had it, so I watched it at my cousin's house.
Still, somebody, I really feel like you have to go out of your way to not see the movie Titanic.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Titanic. I watched it again for like the 17th time this year.
Wow.
And it still slaps, you guys. Just FYI, if y'all haven't seen Titanic in a while, throw her back in the VHS because she still slaps. I also watched Titanic and then went on this crazy spiral of like just ingesting the most Titanic content.
Uh-huh.
Discovery has like a crazy documentary about Titanic. Disney Plus has a crazy Titanic. I was watching all of the things. Anyways, it made me think of what is a movie that I've gone my entire life without seeing, and I asked you guys to do this as well. I've never seen Field of Dreams.
Oh wow.
I've never seen Good Will Hunting.
What?
Yeah. There's like actually a lot that I've skipped. I've never seen Karate Kid.
Me neither.
Huh.
I seen the show Cobra Kai.
No, never seen any of those things. What, I ask you, Justin Graver, and also Sean behind Justin Graver, what is a movie that you guys have somehow gone throughout your entire lives and not watched?
I've never seen Jaws. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Sean
insane.
is devastated because we were literally just
Wow, we
talking
were
about
talking
top
about how
5
great-
movies of all time, and he put Jaws on that list.
Jaws
And
is on that list.
That's what made me realize, oh, I've never seen Jaws.
You've never seen Jaws?
Wow. It's amazing, man. You got to take it in.
How?
I just feel like I missed it, you know, and I'm at the point now where if I watch it, I would just laugh at
It's
the
probably
old
pretty
technology.
dumb. It's probably pretty
Yeah.
dumb. When we first bought our house, we like totally redid the backyard and we put a projector screen out there, and we started doing these like summer movie things. So we would send a bunch of movies to all of our friends and they would vote on what movie that they wanted to watch that weekend. And so we ended up watching Jaws last summer, and it was really fun. It's
Oh,
like
cool.
campy bad. But
Yeah,
it's still like, ooh, it's still scary. Sharks are freaking scary, man.
Oh, it's a great.
Will you
movie.
watch Jaws this week,
Yeah, you
Kramer,
gotta
and
watch
give
it.
us a review next week?
You really do.
Okay, sure.
I love that for us.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay,
That's
Sean.
mandatory
Homework.
viewing.
What's
Should we
your-
introduce Sean so people know who this
Sean!
Wow. Oh my God. Great introduction. What is going on?
Thanks for joining the pod,
Oh my
Eagles fan. Look at all the
God.
merch that
Look
you're
at this.
wearing.
I am out here repping the Eagles. All right, go Birds. All right, to all the Benched Bachelorette listeners, go Birds, go Birds. Thank you. I'm honored to be on the
Mohan's
podcast
already
here.
been replaced. He hasn't
Oh
even
yeah,
been gone for
I'm
5
just
minutes.
taking his spot.
We got a new guy.
We got a new guy here. I will only talk about the Eagles. Rachel's team should be the Eagles, by the way. Just plug.
We'll
It's still in the running.
Later.
We'll get to that later. But you actually stole my movie. So I have a second one.
Wait, which one? Field of Dreams or Good Will Hunting?
Good Will Hunting. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
Are we
because you took
discussing?
it, so I'll go for my number 2 option.
Okay.
Which is I've never seen Back to the Future.
What?
What in the hell is going on here
I know.
today?
It just never got around to seeing it, and everybody's talking about it, and I still haven't seen it. And like,
Is that another
haven't seen-
Spielberg? Is that 2 Spielbergs we just
is
named?
that? Did he do that?
Did he do that?
No, he didn't do that.
I'm gonna
I
find
feel
out.
like that sounds right, actually.
Yeah,
Or
right,
are we?
he did.
Are we confusing it with like E.T. or something? Oh, that's
he
a movie I haven't
definitely
seen.
did.
No.
I haven't seen E.T.
Oh, this is
E.T..
not Spielberg at all. I don't
No,
know
no, no.
where
No,
my head was at.
E.T..
Robert Zemeckis, of course. I knew that.
E.T. is amazing.
Guys,
you,
I've not
you gotta
seen
go E.T.
E.T.
Because
Okay.
it's a story of alien. It's a story of friendship.
Oh,
all right,
cute.
and it's beautiful and it's amazing.
Okay, I need to watch E.T. You need to go and watch Jaws.
Yeah.
And you need to watch Good Will Hunting. And we all need to watch Good Will
Yeah,
Hunting.
big man. We're gonna do a Good Will Hunting just like squad
Yeah.
meet up movie night.
How you like
Please?
them apples?
Yeah.
I don't get that reference. Is that from the movie?
It is.
Okay.
Wow. Well, way to make a reference that we obviously don't know
Vince
of.
Kramer.
Like, come on, Justin.
Guys, listeners, please let us know if there is a Americana classic that you have not seen. I wanna know. Titanic, I feel like, has got to be up there for number 1 as like,
Ooh,
what have
it's
you been
amazing.
doing for you? Whatever, even if you don't think it's amazing anymore, it has stood the test of time, let me tell you that. But I just don't know how that's happened. Anyways, let us know the movies that you have not watched and that you were embarrassed about, and we've got some homework to do. Back to Aaron Rodgers, back to training camp. Let's bring it back to football.
Football is back.
Football is back. Another hot topic of discussion this week. Kyler Murray has an addendum in his contract. I don't know if I'm saying the legal speak right, but whatever. He's got something in his contract that is he is required to watch 4 hours of film every single week and scale back on like video games and watching TV. This is humiliating.
Oh my gosh.
I have secondhand embarrassment from this. Like the fact that your bosses needed to say, hey, you're not 15 anymore. You're an adult that's making $200 bajillion now. You need to watch some film and do your job.
It's truly incredible, and it's a bad look for both sides because it's like, okay, obviously it's a bad look for Kyler Murray. Does he not watch film? But also the fact that the organization felt like they had to put this in the contract.
This couldn't have been a conversation like, hey, congratulations, we're happy to have you. Just make sure you're, like watching your film and, working hard this year. They had to put it in the contract. I wonder if they did this kind of as like a slight in a way, like they knew people would find this as like a little Easter egg. And so many people, like Kyler didn't look great this year with putting out the letter and da-da-da-da-da. But of course, it's Kyler. They're going to have to pay him because he's super talented. He's a superstar. I wonder if they kind of put this in as a little Easter egg for all of us to find and talk about all week long because it doesn't look good on Kyler's end at all.
Yeah.
I think it looks worse on Kyler than it does on the team having to do this.
Agreed. It's interesting though because everywhere you look, people who know contracts and NFL contracts, they say this is like the first time they've ever seen a clause like this.
Yeah.
And I want to read you a quote that was published in a 2021 New York Times article from Kyler Murray.
Oh.
Quote, I think I was blessed with the cognitive skills to just go out there and just see it before it happens. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there and kill myself watching film.
What?
I don't sit there for 24 hours and break down this team and that team and watch every game because in my head, I see so much.
Huh. Well, maybe that's why the Cardinals haven't done much the last few years.
It kind of explains why they peter off towards the end of the season because the defenses have more film on Kyler and he's not watching film on defenses.
That is so disappointing. Like, Kyler has such potential to be, like, the greatest quarterback in the league right now. Like, you can just tell he's just got all of this pizzazz, all of the special qualities. He's so fast. He's so talented. And then, like, what do? Just go home and sit and play video games? I know he's huge on video games. I've literally hosted a Madden tournament with him in it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like 2 or 3 years ago I did that. Totally forgot. Why did I do that? Somebody was bored. Obviously he's got these interests and that's fine, but like you are an NFL quarterback. You've got all of this potential and like a pretty decent team behind you. And like, yeah, then you go and play the Rams in the playoffs and it's like the most boring game anybody's ever seen. And then you're just done.
Yeah.
And you keep on getting injured.
Yeah.
Weird vibes. So when we were talking about this in New York, this obviously hadn't come out yet. And he hadn't signed any contract or anything like that. Darius Butler and I were filling in on Good Morning Football, and I asked him, what's it like being a part of a locker room when somebody is being so immature like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, his answer was actually pretty interesting. He was like, when it comes to money and things like that, people just mind their own business. Am I petty to think like, I'm sorry, but I'm sitting here watching film. I'm here every single day practicing. I'm not making $260 million or whatever the number was that he just got. It just seems arrogant.
It does.
And really immature. And like, I just can't help but think like, I don't know, Darius Butler's obviously very emotionally mature for that not to bother him. But like, you got to think that somebody in that locker room is going to be like, you know what? Screw this guy. Is this supposed to be the leader of our team? He's having to be like grounded.
Yeah.
Essentially from like mom and dad. Like, sorry, we're taking away your PlayStation, Kyler. Sorry, no more Xbox, no more phone. It's just so embarrassing. What do you guys think that he needs to do this year to like, for all of us to kind of get back on his side? Because right now I feel like I'm kind of out on Kyler.
I think the Cardinals have to make the playoffs.
Win a playoff game.
Maybe win a playoff game or at least show up for a play. Don't get blown out in your first playoff game.
I totally agree. I think that this team needs to, especially because how long is D-Hop suspended for? Six games. Especially because they are missing him and like all the drama that came with that last year. Honestly, so much has happened. You forget about that.
They did trade for Marquise Brown, who played at Oklahoma with Kyler, so there's some connection there. But
I think that they need to come out of the gates just like absolutely on fire, and then all of us, like even if week 1 like Kyler balls out, I'll be like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah,
like let's go Cards. That would be so fun. But I feel like out of the gate they need to, or else all of us are gonna start talking.
Yeah,
and that's not gonna be fun for them. Fun for us because we'll have stuff to talk about. But and then the last piece of news that I kind of wanted to talk about at the top is I guess we were like waiting for this to happen, but Kyle Shanahan has officially said that Trey Lance is the guy for the 49ers and Jimmy G is, I guess, just in purgatory. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like I wanted Jimmy to have one last shot, and I don't know what he would have done with that, but I feel like people listen, if they had another quarterback last season, I think that they could have gone even further. But, like, look at where they got to. And Jimmy had, like, a torn ligament in his throwing hand. He was injured. Maybe something was going on with his ankle. I can't remember. But he was not 100%, and he still took them to where they went.
Yeah.
I know he's built a little bit like a glass house and, you know, anything can go wrong. And obviously he got like the shoulder surgery at the end of the season. Nobody even really knew that there was a problem with his shoulder. That's a little scary, but I don't know. I just wanted to give him one more shot, you know?
There's as much as like people like to talk about him having limitations and they can do better or whatever, I feel like there's something to be said about the fact that Kyle Shanahan's record with Garoppolo compared to all the other guys that have had to play, like he just wins with them. And he took them to a Super Bowl once. He took them. They won a playoff game last year. Almost went to the NFC Championship. I don't know. I feel like there is potential that, or they won 2 playoff games last year. They did go to the NFC Championship. So yeah, I mean, if Trey Lance is really, really good, then they could be better. But if Trey Lance struggles as a young second-year quarterback with very little experience in the NFL, then.
But that's the thing, guys. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit worried because if Trey Lance was at the place that he should be, don't you think we would have seen more of him this past year? Like, he was barely, you know, and it's not like Jimmy was wowing us during the season. Like, I think that they really stepped up and became this, like, Cinderella story almost in the playoffs. But I just feel like we would have seen more of him. But I know that everyone's like, George Kittle was just like, oh my God, Trey Lance is like far and away better than the last time you saw him. But he has to say that.
Yeah, what else is he going to say?
That is a team that I'm very curious to see come out week 1. That's probably up there in like the top 3.
Yeah.
Cardinals also. So I guess Trey Lance is the guy. What happens to Jimmy G? Where does he go now? What does he do?
It's so
Who's
interesting.
Who's going to take him on?
like the only team that doesn't really have a settled starting quarterback.
Seattle.
I mean, Pittsburgh has a competition. Atlanta maybe has a competition, but like somebody's going to win the job on those teams. Seattle, I mean, Geno Smith or Drew Lock, they say that they're comfortable having a competition between those two, but if they can get Jimmy G, then the question is,
I kind of love that.
Does San Francisco want to help a division rival by giving them a quarterback that they don't want? So maybe they don't think it's helping them.
Maybe they're like,
can have
take
him.
Jimmy G. Yeah, you guys take him. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Because they obviously don't believe in him.
Right.
Woo! I'm just getting so freaking excited about football. All right. Coming up after the break, best/worst thing that I saw this week. We got a couple of things on the list, so don't go anywhere. Beep.
He's the best.
Okay, first thing on the list is some television that I must recommend because we were talking about this before the show even started. Guys, The Rehearsal on HBO is the craziest thing that I have seen in a very, very long time. If you are not familiar, gosh, you should probably go and watch Nathan For You before you watch The Rehearsal, right? I was trying to describe it to somebody last night, and I could not do it. Because if you don't know Nathan Fielder's comedy, then it's very hard to describe what The Rehearsal is even about. Also, there's only 2 episodes out, so we don't even really know what it is because the 2 episodes are very different.
Yeah.
Basically, he's giving these people opportunities to rehearse these very big life events. Like the very first episode, I don't want to spoil anything, but this guy has been lying to his trivia team about having his master's. Nathan builds him the bar that his trivia nights take place in, and they do a whole rehearsal. Guys, don't listen to what I'm saying. Just go and watch the show.
It's so elaborate. It's honestly insane that he has like a production budget to pull off what they're doing. And
God bless HBO for giving him that.
It's like you said, it's like Nathan For You, but on an evolved
steroids.
state. Like,
yeah.
The funny thing about Nathan For You is I feel like the people he gets on that show were always kind of the butt of his jokes.
Yeah.
Whereas with this show, it's sort of the same-ish idea, but he's actually helping people. And they are still kind of the butt of the joke, but they're being helped in a way that they aren't on Nathan For You.
Well, I kept on thinking about the first episode, and I'm so sorry if you guys haven't actually watched this. This is not going to make any sense to you, but I kept on thinking in the first episode, because the guy was just like, no, I'm not familiar with your work. And I'm like, why are you still here? He built you a bar. An exact replica bar. Like, this is weird. Get out.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so go and watch that. It's called The Rehearsal. It's on HBO. I'll give you my login if you don't have one. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. The second one that I'm really liking is The Bear on FX, I think. Whoa. I'm only a couple of episodes in, but it is dark and really good. And Matty Matheson, I think, created it, and he is a very famous Canadian Toronto chef. And I'm a big fan. So go and watch those 2 things. It is so good. A couple of other things that I have loved/hated to see this week. I don't know if you guys saw, but Baker Mayfield posted a little video. He posted a video of some training that was happening, and I freaking loved it because it was Baker throwing, it was Sam Darnold throwing, it was Matt Corral throwing. Like, it was just very selfless. And like, I'm a part of this team and I want the best quarterback to be out there. I just thought it was really mature and really cool.
Yeah.
Because so many other quarterbacks, if there was like a Geno Smith, Drew Lock, like they're probably not posting videos of the, you know what I mean? It was very much like may the best man win. I really liked that.
Yeah. Good for Baker. He's
good
maturing.
For Baker. Or maybe he just knows that he's QB1 and he's just like, let me throw these guys a bone. God, I hope he starts. He's got to, right?
Against Cleveland week 1, he has to.
Guys, he's got to. The only thing I'm bummed about is that it's not in Cleveland. Because if it was in Cleveland, I would be up in my boss, Charlie Uke's office, and saying, you have to send me to Cleveland. I demand it. It is in the addendum in my contract. Man, there's so many good week 1 games. Seattle and Denver included. So I really loved seeing that. Guys, does Gronk stay retired with Julio Jones joining the Bucks now?
I don't know. I feel like he sees it like this is just another reason for Gronk to not stay retired. It's like if you're the Bucks and you're Gronk, you're like, we're loading up for the Super Bowl run. I still think he doesn't want to do training camp or early season.
We've established we broke the news last week. Okay,
Right.
Gronk is coming back, but it's kind of getting me excited about the Bucks that they're like making these moves and like that's exciting. How do you feel about that as a Titans fan? I know he's not with you; he was a free agent before this,
Right.
but you know you're very familiar with his work. What do you think this is going to look like?
The Titans traded for Julio Jones before last season. They gave up a second-round pick. They paid him money, and he played like barely half the year. He didn't catch a touchdown until the last game of the season. He made a couple big plays in the playoff game, but then on the final drive of the playoff game, Tannehill throws an interception. Julio Jones on the sideline for who knows why. He really dealt with this hamstring thing all year long, and the Titans were counting on him to be a big part of the passing game. That's the thing with the Bucks. Is he doesn't have to be a big part of the passing game. Anything he gives the Bucks, if he only plays 5 games, but he plays in the playoffs, that's a win for Tampa Bay, I think, because they have Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's going to be at training camp. Despite tearing his ACL in January, he's cleared for camp already. So I think it's a great move for Julio. Go play with Tom Brady, the guy who beat you in a Super Bowl that you were winning 28-3.
Whoopsies.
And
I was at that Super Bowl. That was my very first Super Bowl.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I also love that he just signed a 1-year contract. I always think that that's really interesting. Obviously, they want to make sure that he's, because of like the work that he's been put up the last year and like his injury and all that stuff. But like I think for Julio, it's like, all right, let's get to work. Like this next year is it.
Yeah.
I don't have any security after that, which is obviously terrible. Like I obviously want players to get paid and be taken care of and stuff like that. But I just find it really interesting. Like the pressure's been turned all the way up, and like let's see if he can handle it. And I think it could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Benched Bachelorette time. Now, here's the thing, Sean. You are joining us for the first time on this show. Happy to have you.
Thank you. Happy to
Always-
be here,
always
Rachel.
love
Happy
our
to be here.
chats.
Thank you. Love it. Love it.
Now, you're an Eagles fan.
Huge.
And as we told you before the show, you asked, are the Eagles still on the list? And I said, Sean, yes, they are.
I'm touched.
And they are still on that list right now. I want you to tell me in 30 seconds why the Eagles should stay today. Because they've got a star next to their name, John.
Yeah.
That means they're on the chopping block.
They are on the chopping block. I have seen, but here's the reason you need to be with the Eagles. The Eagles are a young, budding team. We are not the team that won the Super Bowl in a weird way in 2017. No, we are a young, building up team. One of the best offensive lines in the league. Top-rated Madden offensive line in the league. We have Jalen Hurts, one of the youngest budding quarterbacks who just got an all-pro wide receiver from whose team? Graver's team. And he's going to be throwing him all year. Devonta Smith, all year.
Wow.
Young. Everybody's going to be smiling. Touchdown celebrations out the wazoo. Nick Sirianni, he has
the
polos.
wazoo.
Okay, he's rocking it. He's preaching competition. I'm like, the environment is just bumping. We're going to have such a fun time. Come down to Philly, grab a cheesesteak, hit up the link,
Whoa!
be an Eagles fan. Right there.
Okay. That was pretty good, Sean.
Thank you.
But you did bring up a sore moment for me that I associate with the Eagles and will for the rest of my life, and I don't think I'm going to be able to let go of the image when you guys won the Super Bowl of a grown man eating poop in the street.
Okay, look.
No.
I can't.
Let that breathe for a sec. That is something that happened. And you show up to work every day and you still wear that hat and you still wear that logo on your chest.
We're so happy when we won that Super Bowl. You don't
Sean, I'm so
understand.
sorry. I'm going to have to let the Eagles go today.
No!
They are officially eliminated.
I'm crushed.
I have no ties to Philadelphia. Okay. I care about you as a person. I respect your fandom. But I cannot be associated with that group of fans.
Thank you for your honesty.
Too many things have happened. I've seen too much. I'm sorry, Eagles fans, but
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus. for
One
goodness
time.
sake.
fly,
Oh my
birds
gosh.
fly. You don't mess with Santa Claus and you don't eat poop in the street.
You do things one time, man.
I do love Philadelphia, and I
Thank
do
you.
love a cheesesteak. Also, cheesesteak? I was so surprised to learn that that it's just like cheese whiz.
Depends on where you go.
Sick.
Depends on what place you go and how you get it. There's usually the top 3 cheeses are Cheese Whiz, American, and Provolone. I'm a Provolone man myself, but Cheese Whiz is definitely a fan favorite for a lot of people in Philly.
Is Cheese Whiz a popular thing in the United States of America?
Yeah.
Because it's very popular in Canada. I used to put that.
It depends on where you put it, but cheesesteaks, it's the most popular.
I used to eat that stuff on toast.
Mm.
Probably every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hard,
Put some
healthy diet.
Spam on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why I don't have a gallbladder anymore, folks. Okay, play the music. I'm ready to kick off the next team. There's 2 other teams on the chopping block today. I love this power. It's disgusting. The Chicago Bears are on the chopping block. The Minnesota Vikings.
Little NFC North action there.
Are on the chopping block. I'm actually quite torn about both of these because neither one of them really makes me that excited. Chicago, you've not really done anything the last few years. Vikings. The Vikings, the thing that I could be excited about the Vikings is I believe that they were the team with the most one-score losses last year. They kept their games the most close. It was like either that and the Chargers. They were like hand in hand. So a couple of different plays, things could have changed. Actually, let me try and remember this stat that I said on Good Morning Football. It was something crazy, like every single game that Kirk Cousins started, every single loss was by 1 score. And the only time the Vikings had a loss that was more than 1 score was the game that he did not play in.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy.
And they have a new head coach. Maybe that's the difference.
That's kind of crazy. Okay, I've made up my mind. Chicago Bears. Even though you had a lovely PR person email me this week and say, hey, big fan, anytime you want to come hang, you can come hang. Love that. Thank you. But your time has come. I will not be coming and hanging. Actually, I would still actually love to do that because I really love Chicago.
Great city.
Great city. Great franchise.
Yeah.
But not my franchise.
No.
Chicago Bears, I'm so sorry. Your time has come. Eagles, Bears, the animals today are getting the boot. Vikings, you're still in this thing, baby. Let's see what happens. I think we're only going to do 2 today, right? We're only murdering 2?
That's strong language, but yes.
We're only murdering the relationship of 2 teams. Guys, we've only got a couple of weeks left, and like every single team that's left, I'm kind of stoked on. We got the Bills left, the Chargers, the Colts, the Dolphins are still very much in this thing. The Jets, we got to have Hans's back on. Lions, you guys know I'm stoked on the Lions. Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Vikings. That's who's left.
It's a good group. I'm patiently waiting for you to kick the Colts out of this game, but hey.
I still think there's some redeeming qualities about the Colts that I'm very excited about. Matty Ice. Jonathan Taylor.
He's fun.
Stop.
He's fun. He's fun. He's no
Maniac.
Derrick Henry, but I mean.
Eye roll. Guys, that's our show for this week. We love you so much. Please tell us what movies you've not watched. We've got some homework to do. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at benched_pod to see
quick announcement.
What?
Our YouTube channel has changed, which is why we haven't posted any YouTubes
I didn't
lately.
clear that.
So we are now just no more NFL podcasts. That has moved into a solely around the NFL video channel.
They
so
get everything.
You can find the video version of this show where you can see Sean and I in the control room along with Randy Chavez back here.
Shout outs, Randy.
On the main NFL YouTube channel now. So just youtube.com/NFL. Boom.
There you go. So do that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, benched_pod. And we will see you, little cuties, next week. And Mohan, get your butt back here!